good morning and welcome to this week's vlog. This is the last shoot, or my last shoot of the decade, and probably the first vlog of a new decade. So welcome to 2020. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas and New Year. I am here at Southwold in Suffolk, and I've come here to shoot some images, well, of the pier and get some general seascapes. Now, I was a bit rushed. I've been here a little while, I'm not going to lie. And the reason for that is that there was a beautiful red sunrise this morning, or actually probably pre-sunrise this morning, and I wanted to catch that before I missed it really. So unfortunately didn't get a lot of vlogging in. Well, didn't get any vlogging in. Bit of a time lapse, a little bit of B-roll, but mainly I was focusing on taking the shot, and I've got a couple of different shots here and see which one works better. I've taken a shot with just the polarizer on the camera, a bracketed shot. I've got this line of sort of massive rocks which are clearly sea defences, and then I've got the pier running parallel to them. I've taken a panoramic image, and there was some beautiful red mackerel sky in the background above the pier and over to the left of the pier. So I took a shot which was basically bracketed f11. I think it was coming out at about 3 seconds, something like that, 3.2 seconds, around that mark. And then I put the 6-stop on and took a few some that were coming out at about 30 seconds, and then some that were coming out as the sun come up at about 15 seconds. Now, I did have to bump the ISO up initially to get that 30-second exposure, but only to 400, so camera should be able to cope with that perfectly fine, shouldn't be too much noise. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Still a little bit of red over in the distance, over the back of the pier now, but it's predominantly disappeared really as the sun's come up. I'm not sure if it's actually risen yet, but it's close to rising. So that's that shot here. Obviously I'll show you that in a minute. And then I think what I'm going to do is move on and try and get something nice from under the pier. So as I said previously, I've decided to come under the pier to shoot an image. I've never really shot an image under a pier before, you know, the classic sort of look down the line of the pier and get all the I guess Snettersham Jetty might count. No, maybe not. Anyway, I've never shot under a pier before, and looking at this pier, I can probably see why. It's not exactly what I would call an inspiring picture. It's probably one of those that you turn up and go, oh, I know what we'll do. Let's shoot under the pier, you know, because that's interesting. You know, that's interesting. It's not really saying a lot to me. Anyway, I have shot under the pier. I'm having to bracket simply because it's so dark and so light outside. So the sky is incredibly bright. The pier is incredibly in deep shadow, so I'm having to bracket the shot. Who knows what that'll turn out like. I have done a panoramic image. I'm not holding that much hope for it. That's okay, it's fine. It's just not really my thing, I don't think. I don't really like it that much. I think it'll probably be all right. I'll show you it anyway. Interestingly, I went out the other week to London. The vlogs, you haven't seen the vlog yet, but you will see the vlog. And I went to Tate Modern and took some shots. And it was almost like a real light bulb moment for me, because I took a particular image, which was really very much a snapshot, but I looked at it and thought, I want to capture this moment in time, because it had a real feeling about it. And it kind of switched a light on inside me that sort of said that photography is way more about emotion and feeling than it is about technical perfection. So you might look at this shot from under the pier here and think, well, you know, technically it's a reasonable shot. It ticks all the boxes, you know, it's an interesting composition, and the lights, you know, it's exposed correctly, if it is exposed correctly, and you know, it's got the leading lines going down to a vanishing point, and you know, all of these things. But if it doesn't convey an emotion to you, then it's not really much of a shot, is it? You know, and that's kind of what I've really, the last few weeks, or since I've been to the Tate, it's really stuck in my head, you know. I look back at the images that I took last year and in previous years that have really, you know, that I really like, and it's because they've got something about them that either portrays an emotion or evokes an emotion. Excuse me. Now, okay, it's not as easy to portray an emotion in landscape photography, but it is easier to evoke an emotion. So I think that from now on with my photography, I'm going to be far more concentrating on what's the story here, what does this picture tell, what emotion is it either showing or evoking, rather than, you know, does it have some foreground, you know, in the right place, and is there an S-bend, and does it have a leading line, and you know, because of course you need to learn that, and that's important, and that does give you the grounding, the basis to know what a good photograph looks like. Of course, most of the images that I take will still have those elements in, or you know, a number of those elements in, but for me now, for it to be a really good image, it's got to convey some sort of emotion, you know, or either evoke an emotion or convey an emotion. So that's rambling on, but I just wanted to share that, a bit of a light bulb moment that I had while I was out the other week, and hopefully that'll move my photography on, and maybe if you think in those terms yourself, it might move your photography on as well. So I've left the pier. I got a bit bored with the pier, to be honest with you. It was really nice at sunrise, but to be honest with you, once the sun's come up and there's not a lot of interest in the sky, it's just really 3 shots of the pier from differing angles. That's all you can get there. There's not a lot else going on. And I've headed a bit further down where I didn't mention earlier, where I've been joined by Jamie. Also Darren's here somewhere as well. He's further down, and I'm here by these beach huts and this marram grass, isn't it? It's called marram grass, yeah. So I'm here by this marram grass, and I'm trying to be a bit creative with this, rather than just take the standard sort of, here's the beach huts in a row, and here's the marram grass in front. I'm trying to isolate out. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yeah, like the ones he took, a standard. I'm trying to do something a bit more. I'm trying to elevate the shot.
Nice.
No, I'm trying to do something a bit different. So I'm taking. I've got the 70 to 200 on, and I've got it on f4, or f4.5 actually. So there's a nice depth of field, and I'm focusing in on these marram grasses here. So part of them will be in focus, and then the beach hut thrown out of focus in the background. So you're kind of getting an essence of the seaside really, without it being, oh look, there's the beach huts and the sea sort of shot. So it might work, it might not. The light's pretty dull at the moment, so kind of it's that sort of time to get creative really. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Now down amongst the marram grasses with Darren and Jamie, and Darren's quite good at this, but I can't seem to quite work out how to get these images with this marram grass in. It's a little bit, what can I say? It's a bit. I guess it's a bit like woodland photography, because it's a bit chaotic, and it's the random nature of them, and they're very abstract. You can't, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say here, but I just find it difficult to get anything out of these marram grasses. And I've seen people like Darren and like Owen Clark take some fantastic images of the marram grasses. I'm not sure. I think maybe I just need to change my approach and maybe think a bit more out of the box as to how to get some shots of them, I guess. Not easy though, not easy. What I've done is I've come down here. I've got this marram grass in the foreground. I've got the long lens on, and I'm just picking a few strands at the very sort of rear of the little tufts of grass, and got those in sharp focus, and then just waiting for people to wander along the beach and just catch those in the background. So we've got some out of focus marram grass in the foreground, some lovely nice sharp stuff with the little heads on in the back in sort of the mid-ground, and then some very out of focus figures walking along with the sea in the background. It's a bit abstract. I don't know, I think it works. I quite like it. So, you know, after the very first shot this morning of the pier, it's all been a little bit more abstract, but I think it works. Yeah, I think it works. So I've been chin wagging for a bit with Darren and Jamie, and the lights kind of died really. There's not a lot of light about now at all. Taken some images around the marram grass, but I think that really and truly I've got everything that I'm going to get today, and I'm quite happy with it. The light was fantastic this morning around by the pier. I really enjoyed that, and then heading up here and trying to be a bit abstract with the marram grass, that was kind of fun as well, if a little bit challenging. And yeah, so that's me done, I think. Now I'm going to go and have a coffee and a chat and maybe something to eat, and then head home because it is my anniversary today, so I better not be out all day. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. All the usual applies, you know, subscribe, like, comment, etc, etc. And you know, until next time, I'll see you again soon.